tous, on se retrouve pour une nouvelle vidéo sur Vampyre. Alors attendez, je vais vérifier quelque chose. Pouf. Ok. Alors, la dernière fois on s'est arrêté quand on devait préparer un antidote sur je sais plus quel ça fait parce qu'on avait déjà l'échantillon, on demandait de le refaire, je sais pas pourquoi. Non, c'est pas celui-là, c'est celui-là. Nickel. Parce que j'ai déjà fait en fait la première sauvegarde, c'est ce qu'on avait fait la dernière fois, et du coup j'en ai fait une deuxième pour commencer à débugger. Je vais suivre sur la map ce petit point. On est parlé en bas, tu vois. Ok, que en bas. J'ai pas fini pour la dernière fois, non, c'était pas vraiment un bug, c'est surtout, je sais pas, le point. Je n'ai pas compris le point avec l'œil en bas du coup. Alors, où est-ce qu'il suit? Ok, non, en fait, ils mettent le point pour ça. Ok, là, je parie qu'il y a le truc pour marquer un truc, quelque chose comme ça. Interroger, vous êtes. Prendre le garant. Ou à. Voilà, ouais. Où est-ce qu'ils sont? Oh bah attends. Oh nickel, ça. Inconnu. Ah super, je connais presque personne ici. Voyons le côté en cadre. Inconnu. Ça, non. Bon bah quoi, interroger tout le monde.
Good evening, miss.
Your name has no meaning to me, mortal. You're nothing but dust blown by the winds of eternity.
I beg your pardon.
What are you begging for, mortal? My clemency? Well, tonight maybe I'm inclined to mercy. You'll never forget the night you met Thelma Howcroft.
You keep calling me mortal. Why is that? And if I'm mortal, what are you?
Well, Dr. Reed, if you must know, I'm a vampire.
I'll leave you, Mistress of the Dark, to your nocturnal activities.
Ok.
fix my face. No. I don't think you can help me.
I'm Dr. Reed. I've recently taken the position of head surgeon here. War injuries, am I right?
You guessed right, Doctor. German shell took my pretty little mug right off. But they still call me Thomas Elwood.
Soldier, need assistance.
I'm fine. Just do something for this pain, will you? That's all I'm asking.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Elwood.
Disgust on every street corner.
Good evening, nurse.
Good evening, Doctor. I don't think we've been introduced yet. My name is Pippa Hawkins.
And I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. Dr. Swansea has recently offered me a position in this hospital.
Well, it's a euphemism that your help will be appreciated, Doctor.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
Ok, juste, je me rappelle plus qui je devais voir. Gwyneth. D'accord. Même si je le dis mal, bah, allez. Ah, finalement, ils étaient là-bas. Après, peut-être qu'ils sont à l'extérieur.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I believe we're going to be colleagues.
Reed? Yes, I've been informed about your arrival. I'm Waverly Ackroyd. Welcome aboard, I suppose.
Does my arrival inconvenience you in some way, Dr. Ackroyd?
Let us just say that I don't particularly share Dr. Swansea's enthusiasm for hiring you. What we need here are reliable professionals, not overrated dabblers.
Thank you for your time. We'll talk later. Goodbye, Mrs. Goswick. Good evening. I'm Dr. Reed. Can I help at all?
No.
Really? Why are you here then?
I don't want to talk. My throat hurts too much.
I suppose that this pain is the reason you're here. Is someone taking care of you?
Yes. And no.
Could you at least tell me your name, sir?
Mortimer. Mortimer Goswick.
Do you need any help?
I'm afraid I may, sir. I don't mean to be a burden.
Ouais, fatigue. J'en ai? Non, j'en ai pas.
I will see you later. I have to go now, sir.
Bref.
Yes, Doctor?
Why then do you always work the nights? Don't you ever sleep?
At the Pembroke, we're always hands on deck.
Lack of sleep and the medical profession always ends in disaster. I've witnessed many a colleague succumb to stimulants to fight exhaustion. Drugs were as deadly as bullets in the trenches.
London's trenches start here at Pembroke Hospital. We are on the front line, make no mistake.
That's all for now, Nurse Crane, thank you.
Ah, mais ils sont où? On va go voir à l'extérieur. Et
heard about you, Dr. Reed. I'm Milton Hooks, the ambulance driver for this shithole of a hospital.
That's quite a blunt introduction, Mr. Hooks.
You can call me Milton. I like to speak my mind, Dr. Reed. Perk of the job. Don't judge me, and I won't judge you.
What you're talking about?
Well, I'm no doctor, but I'm pretty sure a gun can't be used as a surgical instrument.
You have a keen eye. I learned to shoot during the war, and have carried one ever since. Old habits die hard.
No need to explain, Dr. Reed. And if you ever need a better gun, remember, I may have something for you.
Goodbye, Milton.
Ouais, super. Et ouais, dans l'hôpital, pas quoi.
Time has lost its effect on me, but the suffering continues.
Bon.
Good evening, Mr. Hampton. How do you feel?
Dr. Reed, is it? Oh, Sora, I must apologize for my behavior.
What do you mean?
I was not myself in the factory. Fear and exhaustion make me say awful things to you, I'm afraid.
You remained perfectly nice and polite. A little delirious, perhaps. But who wouldn't be after enduring an abduction?
Thank you, Doctor. That's a relief. Now all I need to do is rest and return to my flock.
Goodbye, Mr. Hampton. We'll talk again later.
Alors, on va aller derrière. Personne. Bon bah, on va attendre à l'intérieur du coup.
Search your pockets. Do you, sir? You won't need any of these anyway. I'm not stealing from you, mister. I'm only redistributing your belongings to people who need them more than you. You see, no one has claimed your body, sir, so it would be such a shame to bury you with your valuables. I will not forget you, sir, and I thank you for your generous donation.
Ok. Bon bah, moi, ça c'est clair. C'est par là. Donc le gars il doit être pas loin.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Reed. Always a pleasure to meet a colleague, sir. Especially when he was supposedly dead.
A colleague? Are you a doctor too?
Not anymore, sir. I used to be Dr. Rakesh Chadana. Now, I'm just Mr. Chadana, pawnbroker and humble guardian of this morgue.
What do you mean, you used to be a doctor? Was your license revoked?
No, sir. It is just that I like to be precise. I run a little pawn shop while taking care of the dead. But I used to be a real doctor.
Quoi? Foiré. Il a 4.
Please show me what you have to sell.
Of course. It's just trinkets and curios, really. But I'm sure they can be useful.
Intéressant. Oh oui. Oh, il a des choses intéressantes, oui. J'ai besoin de pratiquement tout en fait. C'est ça le problème. Voyons, moi j'ai quoi? Non. Non. Et... non, laisse tomber, c'est bon, ça me suffit. Et ouais, moi aussi je fouille. Qu'est-ce qu'il y a? Détails. Je trouve les procès. Lui il est fatigué. Ouais. Alors. Bon, ça change rien du fait que je dois toujours. Non mais dégage. Foutu marchand, bordel. Attendez. Ouais, non, c'est écrit, ok. Ouais, oui. Je connais pas.
Good evening, Doctor. I believe we're Dr. Reed. Dr. Swansea informed us of your... I am Thoreau Strickland, Dr. Thoreau Strickland. I'm a great admirer of your work, Dr. Reed. Goodbye, Dr. Strickland.
Bon, ouais. De toute façon, j'ai passé parce que ça va être répétitif, hein, c'est pour le docteur gna gna gna. Et c'est tout. Donc voilà, j'ai passé. Toi, t'es qui? Non. Thomas, non. Thomas, non. Ah, mais ils sont où? Ils sont pas en haut. Ouais, on sous les... Béatrice, Milton... Ils sont pas haut. Parce que ça peut être... Non mais dégage. Ça peut être que là-dedans en fait. Ah, bonjour à ce qui vient d'arriver. Coucou. Donc là, il faut que je retrouve Honnête Pranagan, un truc comme ça. Sauf que je sais pas du tout ce qui... où elle se trouve.
Dr. Jonathan Reed, the new surgeon here at the Pembroke.
Dr. Swansea has already told us about you, sir.
Oh,
I'm Nurse Gwyneth Brannigan. Welcome to the Pembroke Hospital.
Did he really? It's a good thing I wasn't hoping to keep a low profile.
All members of staff have already read about your new blood transfusion technique. Dr. Swansea made sure of that.
I see. Well, I'm a little surprised, but I suppose I'll just have to deal with this unexpected notoriety.
You must know, blood transfusions are Dr. Swansea's primary subject of research. He is convinced it is the future.
Tell me what Dr. Tippett did. I know his mistake caused a patient's death.
If I had not covered up his error, Dr. Tippett would have been fired from this hospital. I could not let that happen.
You can't allow your emotions to dictate your conduct concerning patients, Nurse Brannigan.
Look around you, Dr. Reed. Do you really think we can afford to lose a brilliant practitioner like Dr. Tippett in our situation?
To clear Dr. Tippett's name must be the decision of Dr. Swansea. You can't take matters into your own hands.
I respect Dr. Swansea's authority and management, but he's no idea what happens here on a daily basis. I did what I had to do.
Quoi, 5 mais... Allez vous faire voir.
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need assistance.
Ok, bon. Plus qu'un. Ça c'est chiant. Toi t'es... Attends.
It's locked.
Putain c'est fermé, c'est chiant. Je fasse comment? Tiens.
Good evening, sir.
So it is true. The famous Dr. Reed has joined us. I can't think of any better news during these terrible times.
Do we know each other?
Actually, yes. We met once before, at the Rockefeller University in New York.
Dr. Tippett, yes, I remember. I was assisting Professor Carell in his research about coronary bypasses. He had nothing but praise for you.
He was also very confident about your future. And look at you now. Eminent surgeon and blood transfusion specialist.
Corcoran, I want you to tell me about Mr. Connor. How did he die? What happened?
He was my patient. He died because of my mistake. That's the blunt truth.
What was the nature of the mistake?
It was a twofold error. My diagnosis was wrong, and the administered dosage was too strong.
Why not stop practicing?
Are you mad? I killed that man, I admit it, and it won't happen again. I have saved so many lives since then.
Who was this patient?
I don't know. Some sick man from the docks, maybe a fisherman. I had no time to talk with him. No one claimed the body.
I will cover for you, Dr. Tippett, by keeping what happened to Mr. Connor to myself.
I don't know what to say, actually. I can't exactly force you to become my accomplice.
You didn't force me. This is my decision to make. I believe you're still of use to the hospital, considering the situation.
Then I can make you this promise. As soon as the epidemic is eradicated, I will resign.
Goodbye, Dr. Tippett.
Maintenant faudra que je fasse tranquillement pour la fatigue. Donc attends, il est là-bas. fatigue. C'est un peu ce qu'il faut pour la gratitude. Pourquoi ça n'a pas fait le truc que...
Behavior is similar to the infected William Bishop. This sickness moves faster than influenza.
Ok. T'as eu que j'ai eu où? Attendez. Pourquoi je... Bordel. Pas bouger. Vas-y, viens. Ah, fuis. Mais bordel. Voilà, non mais... Le problème c'est qu'ils me disent ici... Bouge. Voilà. Attends, je vais redescendre. Hop, un truc. Ouais, ça peut être ok. Ils me disent oh, mais ils me disent aussi. Attends, je vais retourner ici. Je vais sortir, je vais voir ce qu'ils me disent. Ils me disaient là-haut, ouais. Bah, ça servait à rien que je sorte. que j'ai acheté le pont. Et je vais en faire 2-3 plein. Chargement, toujours chiant. Allez. Voilà.
It's locked, all right.
Mais bordel, il n'y a rien qui est ouvert ici. Enfin, bref.
Returned, Doctor. Did you find anything of value?
Yes, nurse.
You've worked your first miracle, Doctor. Now, this patient here needs immediate treatment.
Duty calls. When the storm has passed, I'll show you how to mix the remedy yourself with the same basic ingredients.
Many thanks, Doctor. When you've finished, you ought to report to Dr. Swansea in his office. He's been looking for you. Seemed pressing.
Okay, bon.
Good evening, Mr. Goswick.
Guten Tag.
I'm okay.
Do you need any help?
I'm afraid I may.
Ouais, ça je sais, c'est ça que je veux faire, voilà.
You are not a burden, sir. Healing you is my responsibility.
And you have my gratitude for that.
I have to go now, sir.
Nickel. Non.
Doctor.
Oui. Ça n'oublie pas que la citoyenne apporte énormément d'expérience. Ouais. Mais l'expérience, tu en gagnes beaucoup en tuant d'autres vampires. Et si tu bouffes les citoyens, ça te fait perdre de la merde. Non, pardon. Perdre de la... Ça fait chuter ça, quoi. Attendez, si je trouve. Voilà, ça fait la situation sanitaire. Ça fait chuter ça. Plus ça en baisse, plus ça sera la merde. Plus ça en mieux ça sera. Tu vois.
It's locked.
Tu vois, j'ai où? Oh, ici.
Please, Jonathan, come in. Fascinating, is it not? In the last decade, so many mysteries have been brought to light with our microscopes. The human body, biology's penultimate frontier. The more we explore its boundaries, the less we're able to trace a clear line between life and death. You, my friend, have a foot in both countries. The view must be vertiginous.
It's at least as vertiginous as chatting about vampires with you, I would say.
This must be all so new to you. This area of town, the hospital, a brand new life. How stimulating it must be.
I wish I could share your enthusiasm, Dr. Swansea, but my condition defies scientific categorization. Undead? Unalive? Immortality defies logic.
I cannot express my thrill at this serendipitous turn of events. The world's most eminent specialist in blood transfusions, a vampire. One might say a gift from heaven.
Hello.
There is an absurd poetry to my situation. Physician, heal thyself.
Forgive me. I've been an admirer of your work for a long time, and now you are so much more than a brilliant physician. And please, call me Edgar.
I'm not some doe-eyed student, Edgar. I understand we both have something to gain from this relationship.
Very well. I have a task for you, Jonathan. Something that will require all your newfound skills.
Please, go on.
The Pembroke only survives through the generosity of our benefactors. Unfortunately, our main donor has found herself in a bit of a bind. Now, if you could help her out...
Or politician is what you need. That's not my calling. And until I come to understand what has happened to me, I require discretion.
Lady Ashbury has recently received rather indelicate correspondence that, if revealed, would jeopardize her position.
And you would like me to eradicate this threat?
Why, the stole, of course not. I would just like you to pay her a visit. Her ladyship is certainly near the tents outside, tending the sick. You can't miss her. Look for someone impossibly delicate.
Accepted. I'll see what kind of trouble Lady Ashbury is in.
Ok. Ok, bon alors. En bas. Voilà, ici. On va parler.
Flu took my dear wife, Emily. I take comfort knowing we'll soon be together again.
Mr. Rainfield, that's no way to talk. You're in good hands here. We'll be up again soon enough. Now do me a kindness and get some sleep. I'll be back round later.
Your words are kind, the blessings of an angel. You're the sweet, sweet lady of mercy.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. It's a pleasure to see you again. You seem surprised. Dr. Swansea has brought me up to speed concerning your recent appointment to Pembroke Hospital.
You're a the lady who saved me that night, before vanishing into thin air. I remember you from the pub with Dr. Swansea.
Indeed. Allow me to introduce myself formally this time. My name is Lady Ashbury. I remember you well, in spite of the brevity of our encounter.
Apologies. You've taken me by surprise. I'm very happy to see you.
The pleasure is mine, Doctor.
I hope you're more disposed to answer my questions now.
You must have countless questions, but our rather urgent matter first. Swansea has explained. My cover, if you prefer, has been compromised.
Dr. Swansea has commissioned me to be your agent in this matter. You could start by explaining what's amiss.
These past insufferable weeks, I've been the victim of extortion. I've made a first payment, but the blackmailer grows greedy. I must refuse his most recent demands.
Please continue. Every detail is essential. I'm your man.
My embarrassment in this matter is eclipsed only by my shame at having put the hospital at risk. The threat from our anonymous scoundrel is clear. A list of dates. My visits coinciding with the dates of suspicious patient deaths due to massive blood loss.
I'll take care of it. Do you know where I should start?
If that was the case, I'd settle the matter myself. You could talk to our local gossip, Harriet Jones. Not a pin drops here without her hearing about it.
I'll meet that woman now.
My life, as others know, is in your hands, Dr. Reed. I'm sure of your discretion, but I do fear your powers of persuasion will be put to the test. When this is resolved, I'll be your obligé. I'll answer all questions in regards of your condition.
Ok. Bon. Bah, allons voir. On va voir les autres. On va parler à Harry.
These nurses, bred with no respect. What is this? Who are you? Get out of my room.
There's no need for alarm, madam. I'm Dr. Reed, the new surgeon.
Preposterous. Dr. Reed, you say? I don't want some bumbling intern. Where's Dr. Swansea?
If you continue shouting, I'll have you restrained and gagged. Understood?
How brave. Threatening an old defenseless woman. You know how long I've been a patient here? You've picked the wrong fight. I'm Harriet Jones.
Harriet Jones? Indeed. I've been meaning to have a chat with you. You know what goes on here better than any other patient, I gather.
Oh, better than any patient, nurse or doctor. I've seen so many vile undertakings.
I heard there have been some despicable goings-on. Was there a case of blackmail?
Blackmail? Wait. You're investigating something. This isn't a social call. One of those incompetent cunts slit a poor sod's vein.
I assure you, madam, this is not an investigation into a possible medical error.
Debauchery, then? Nurses Crane, Hawkins, Brannigans, whores, all of them. They can't keep their legs shut. I've seen them scratching slutty sores.
Really? Well, if you have irrefutable proof, I'll not have the staff behaving in such a manner here.
This is your business, Doctor, not mine. But I swear one of the nurses is cavorting with some man on hospital hours.
Thank you for your time, Miss Jones. You've given me something to go on. See you on the next round.
Okay.
The patients and staff might know something. I'll start my investigation with them.
Alors, attends, infirmière papa, ok. Où es-tu? Bon, go fouiller tout. Il y en a qui dit qu'il n'en pas, mais on peut pas y en parler encore. Pourquoi il me dit... Non.
Good evening, Dr. Tibbets.
Dr. Reed, any good news to share?
Do you need any medical assistance yourself, Doctor?
Come on, don't be ridiculous, dear colleague.
Have you heard of any underhand dealings going on in this hospital?
I have no time for such triviality, my dear colleague. We're here to save lives.
Goodbye, Dr. Tibbet.
Ça sert à rien. Oh bah, coucou toi.
Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
What can you tell me about the strange man visiting one of the nurses during her shift?
Let me guess. You spoke with that old shrew, Harriet Jones. Do not pay attention to her, Doctor. She's full of fanciful tales.
She could have been telling the truth about the mysterious man.
That old witch will end up in hell soon enough. Who cares if the nurse finds some happiness where she can?
No matter how you feel about her, Miss Jones deserves our help.
Who says I don't care for her? Hate is what keeps that old crone alive.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
On va te faire voir. Oh putain, il y a un chat qui me saoule. Attendez, je reviens. Désolé, un chat qui voulait sortir. Créer une infirmière, une infirmière. Dorothy Crane. Dorothy Crane. Non. Oh.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. May I help you?
I don't know if a third opinion is needed. Your colleagues are already arguing about my condition.
I see. Would you mind telling me more about your situation?
I'm Harvey Fiddick. All I want is to get me bloody arm fixed properly.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick. I'll see you later.
Tant pis. Ouais, Pipa Wings est toujours là. Les autres, je sais pas où ils sont. Comme le bataillon. Ils ont d'autres. Oh putain. Ok, sur les actions historiques.
It's locked, all right.
Ah putain, bravo. Ok. Il se passe quelque chose.
can I be sure I'll not find your unconscious body in the house again?
I promise you, you'll not find my unconscious body.
For God's sake, how can you say such a thing?
How can you refuse to listen? I tried to warn you for so long.
No, I won't let my only son die. You promised me you'll stay alive.
Your son lied to you, like the whole world lies to us.
Et pourquoi il y a que elle dans l'hosto, ou ça se passe comme... Attends. Normalement il devrait être à l'intérieur d'ici. C'est qui? Qu'est-ce que multime? Béatrice, non. Oh, bordel. Il y a quoi dans les tentes là? Il y a personne. Il y a personne. Non, voilà. On peut pas grandir un petit peu tout ça. Bon, bref. Oh, si. Ok, donc c'est dans toutes ces zones. Et toi. Ah, les chargements, qu'est-ce qu'ils sont chiants.
Good evening, Nurse Brannigan.
Good evening, Doctor.
Have you seen a strange man visiting any of the nurses here?
I've never heard of such a thing, Doctor.
Do you know if any of the hospital staff have criminal backgrounds?
The people who work here all come from very different backgrounds, Doctor. Just like the patients.
Have you seen a strange man visiting any of the nurses here?
I've never heard of such a thing, Doctor.
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need assistance.
Bon. L'autre est en bas, c'est ça.
You can't just die like this. Please, sir. I need help bad.
What's going on?
I'm Blight, sir. Newton Blight. I've lost my mate. Can't find him anywhere.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed from the Pembroke Hospital. Please, calm down and give me more details.
Oswald and myself were both infantry, sir. We were en route for the hospital, but we had a disagreement. And Oswald ran off towards the canal.
How long have you been searching for him?
I can't go there. Too many rats by the water. Fucking rats. Can't stand them since the war, sir. Can't stand them at all.
Don't be ashamed, Mr. Blight. Many soldiers who survive the trenches suffer from musophobia. I'll see what I can do for your friend. I have all the information I need.
Thank you, Doc.
Moi, tais-toi.
You're sure you don't come back with me?
Nah, I have to see someone at the hospital.
Be careful. You look so bad they may keep you as a patient.
Fuck 'em. I don't like hospitals. Or doctors.
Well then, when you go back to Whitechapel, you may find this useful.
What is it?
A pass for a free medical exam by the best nurse available. Just read it.
I don't read well, but thank you, I guess.
porte s'est fermée automatiquement, il se passe quoi? Bon ben, go le suivre, hein, je suppose. Voyons.
He's locked the door behind him. I need to find another way to follow him.
Ok, donc passons par ici.
This man has been savagely attacked and dragged to the floor.
Oh, viens là. Pousse-toi. Voilà. Oh bordel. Voilà. Pas passer par là, non? Bon bah tant pis. Qu'est-ce qu'il y a par là? Oh. Bon bah, moi j'ai ça. Ouais bon on va par là. Bon, ça c'est fait. Ça c'est fait. Bah allons par là. Je sens un boss. Bonjour.
What sort of creature is this?
C'est un démon, ça se passe comment? Ah. Ok. Hop. Désolé, mais attendez, je vais vérifier un truc. Attends, non, attendez. Hop, là, je suis ici. Là, bah... Attendez. Ouais, parce que là... Nickel. Quoi, j'ai... Ah si, c'est bon, j'ai des mules, mais bon. C'est en KO et... 99... Eh, mec. Attendez. Ben oui, mon gars. Fuis. Plus bouger. Quoi, j'essaie de... Ouf. Attendez. Là. Ouais, je vais me mettre dans le rythme. C'est quoi? Je vais essayer de prendre... Ok. Putain, recharge. Ok. Oh. Quoi? Putain, il va être dur. Oh, ça fait mal ça. Bon, ça j'en aurais besoin. Merde. Aïe, ça fait mal ça. Ah merde. Oh chier, j'ai plus. Hop. Pas go hein. Va te faire voir. Allez, je me heal, c'est important. Non mais ça sert à rien, tu vois. Ouais, non, ça servira à rien. Bouge pas. Ok. Bouge. Ah non, l'enfoiré, il se... Bouge. Bouge. Ah, bordel, c'est serré. Oh. Ok. Bouge. Heal-toi. C'est important. Ok. Je vais juste reprendre son sang encore une fois parce que c'est utile. Quoi, sérieux, qu'est-ce qui s'est passé? Allez. On en reprend un peu. C'est bon. Ça fait mal, hein? Foiré. Allez, viens là, viens. Non, loupé. Allez. Putain, il est chiant ce combat. Allez. Et puis, viens. Hop, deux d'un coup. Bon, là... Aïe. Non. Casse-toi. Oui. Ça c'est bien. Allez, vas-y, attaque et voilà, comme ça. Et tu... Putain, tu bouges plus. Bouge, 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 bouge. Il est bientôt crevé. Casse-toi. Plus d'endurance là, tu te bats. Allez, attends, je vais tenir 5 secondes. 3. Putain. Bouge plus. Allez, il est bientôt mort. Allez, allez. Faut juste qu'il attaque comme ça. Ah, oh, c'était chiant. Ok.
For a free checkup in Whitechapel. What is Nurse Crane up to?
Bon bah,
I really must find her.
Je sais pas qu'il faudra rentrer. Bordel. Fuis, fuis, fuis. Oh non, mais l'enculé. Toi, viens là. Voilà. Bonjour. Alors, voilà, je veux bien ça.
Are you injured, sir?
Help me get out of here. I need to get out.
I'm Dr. Reed, and I'd be glad to help you, but you must calm down first. Please, take a deep breath and tell me your name.
Okay. Okay, I'm Oswald Thatcher. Please, I need to get out.
Mr. Thatcher, your friend Newton sent me to help you. Do you remember him?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Good. Now leave this place and enjoy the cool night air. It's quite invigorating. I'm sure you'll feel better if you do.
Oh. Ouais. Non. Oui. J'ai cru qu'il avait disparu l'item. Ça en a Whitechapel, ouais. Ce qui est bizarre, c'est qu'il m'a pas vu me battre, donc moi, si je me comme ça, je me dis, mec, ça va? Comment ça se fait que tu te bats comme ça? Et si l'existence des vampires est connue aux yeux du monde, je serais là en mode, mec, t'es un vampire. Je serais là en mode, wesh, t'es un vampire en fait. Voilà. Enfin bref. Du moins, je serais bizarre, un gars se voir comme ça. Enfin bref. Passons outre. Ok, allez, on monte. Oh, merde! Pars-toi. Ok. Oh putain, pas lui. Oh fuck. C'est vrai que l'autre il a... Mais casse-toi! Oh bordel. J'ai besoin de sang, fait chier. Putain, ils sont beaucoup par contre. Toi, bouge. Barre-toi, barre-toi. Heal-toi, surtout. Heal-toi. Oui, je pense faire quoi comme ça là, regarde, qu'est-ce que t'as? Casse-toi. Casse-toi. Ah là, toi, tu bouges plus. Ah putain, plus d'endu. Ah putain. L'endurance, putain. Oh, joli. Allez, venez. Oh putain. Oh merde, il est mort. Où est-il l'autre? Il est mort aussi? Bon, super. Ouais, du coup, faut que j'aille où? Tout là-bas. Bon bah, allez, c'est parti. Ok, ça commence bien. Ah oui, c'est vrai, du coup, là, il y a trop de humains qui pourraient me voir. Ouah, il me voit. Oh, pardon. Pas bouger. Ah, bordel, heureusement qu'il n'a pas attaqué. Ouh. Oui, ça fait mal. Il fait mal. Non, mais jure. C'est quoi ce zombie de l'espace là? Bon, bref. Moi je parle pas et j'ai rien à dire. Les gars, franchement, comme je vous dis, j'ai rien à dire. Laissez des commentaires, ça sert à ça quoi. Si vous avez des questions, discuter, trucs comme ça, voilà, discuter entre nous. Mais en même temps, il y a personne qui regarde. Super. Alors... Deux secondes, attendez, ok. Et on se retrouve ici, ok. Bon, ça va, il nous fait pas pop à 3000 km ou je ne sais pas quoi. Toi, je vais t'enculer, j'en ai rien à foutre, je vais t'éclater. Quel enfoiré. Voilà, comme ça qu'on fait, gars. Allez. Là, il va mourir. Oui, je m'en fous. Ok. Allez, on retourne là-bas du coup. Enfin, on continue plutôt. Alors.
Best stay back, sir. Go on, off you trot.
Ouais. J'ai essayé de passer discrètement. Hop, j'ai vu qu'ici il y avait ça. Et bon bah je crois que je suis obligé de me fight. Hein. Ah mais bordel, ils sont chiants. Ah, je prends trop de coups là. Mais bordel! Putain. Allez, toi je t'ai eu. Toi, je te tiens. Il est mort. Ah mais fuis bordel. Il reste plus que toi. Oh, bordel, ils étaient chiants. Nickel, il doit continuer par là-bas.
Whitechapel. This neighborhood is linked somehow to the kind Lady Ashbury's blackmail. First, let's find this Petrescu fellow.
Fuck you all! Fuck it all! Stop it now, Albert, stop it!
Ah, je peux pas. Ouais, d'accord, je suis obligé de rester humain. Enfin, je viens de faire semblant.
What? Shooting a boy in the middle of the street. Not the best thing to do, wouldn't you say?
What? You saw what happened? Who are you?
I'm Dr. Reed, and I'd like to ask you a few questions, if you promise me to set your gun aside.
No. Look, I'm not a violent man. I'm Benjamin Palmer, doctor. And no one can help me. Not even you.
I have found a very interesting letter. Your son planned to prove his worth to the gang by stealing your medicine.
Oh, I see. So the little bugger thought he could use his dad to build a reputation.
The gang's recruiter was dead when I found him. Perhaps you should take better care of your son.
I love my Albert, sir. Believe me. It's just... well, I'm an arsehole, I suppose. Anyway, thanks for the letter. This is for your trouble.
A gun, alcohol.
Non, attends, vas-y, c'est bon.
I'm afraid...
Oh, toi viens là. Alors, suivons cette ligne. Putain, je déteste cette musique, c'est de la merde. Hey. Voilà.
I'm not afraid anymore. I died in this trench a long time ago.
Oh, que ça. Putain, c'est une sang de merde. Attends, il avait quelque chose sur lui du coup. Oh putain. Hey, calme-toi la musique. Non, il a rien d'autre sur lui. Nickel.
What do you want? Leave me alone.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I'm looking for Nurse Dorothy Crane.
There is no Dorothy Crane here. Now goodbye.
I'm afraid this medical leaflet says the opposite, sir.
Really? Well, I'm afraid I'm going to close this door right now. Go bother someone else, Mr. Doctor.
To enter that house, I must discover who this man really is. Maybe I could start by observing what he's up to.
Je suis là où je devais être, oui. Voilà. Voilà.
A strange man was at the door with a pass for our medical facility. I refused him entry.
Darius, how could you know he didn't need our help?
His clothes were too finely tailored to be for Whitechapel.
Perhaps just a friend of that stray poet who is always about.
Richard Nithercott? No, not of the same cloth, this man. I suspect some machination from that journalist.
Clayton Darby. Is he still asking questions?
Yes. I saw him drifting around St. Mary's Church. I swear he is tracking me just downwind.
It's locked. I must talk to that journalist or the poet. They must know about Darius. Nearby the church.
Journaliste. Il doit savoir plus de choses que...
Take a look, don't be afraid. Cheap price, good quality. Come on, take a look, don't be afraid.
Malevolence, some trickery.
Forgive my interruption.
Do not apologize, my son. Father Tobias Whitaker is always happy to teach mortals about the incoming Armageddon.
I am Dr. Jonathan Reed, and I just have a few questions.
A scientist? You are much more lost than I thought, my son.
Don't you fear getting sick yourself?
I've been touched by God's grace. I am perfectly healthy.
Ouais.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane?
Ah, 2 secondes, un appel.
I'd like to know more about her.
I don't like the liberal ideas of nurses, but I especially abhor that Nurse Crane you mentioned.
Désolé, un appel. Alors.
Why do you hate Nurse Crane more than other nurses?
Before coming to London, she was a member of the communist resistance in our country. That's what happens when you let a woman get involved in politics.
Les féministes.
So, you're not exactly a fan of Florence Nightingale's work. But nurses are essential for modern healthcare.
Nuns should be the only women allowed to take care of male patients. It's obvious only they have the necessary moral fibre.
I have had enough for tonight. Goodbye.
Excuse me, sir. Are you familiar with this part of town? Name's Clayton Darby, reporter.
Sorry, I'm new to Whitechapel. But perhaps you could help me since you're a journalist. My name is Jonathan Reed.
Dr. Reed, the famous surgeon. I'll gladly help if I'm able, sir.
I heard you're investigating an underground medical dispensary in Whitechapel. What do you know about it?
Not much, I'm afraid. They are wary of strangers, and I'm not really an acquaintance of theirs. Why do you care?
Excusez-moi.
I'm afraid one of the nurses from the Pembroke Hospital may be involved with unsavory activities.
Ah, could it be Dorothy Crane?
Without a doubt, you are a damn fine journalist, Mr. Darby. What do you know of her accomplice, a man named Darius?
I don't know much about the man. He's very cautious, never goes out, doesn't seem to have any friends or family.
He never goes out?
No. A few days ago, he unexpectedly did. I followed him, but it was just a ruse to keep me away from his house.
Really? How do you know?
He went to the nearest mailbox, but just before posting his letter, he ripped it up and threw it away.
He has no relatives at all?
No. Except for that strange man, a poet named Richard Nethercott, who sometimes comes by. Darius would never let him in.
Where can I find this Mr. Nethercott?
He spends most of his time lurking around Whitechapel, talking to himself or declaring verses. These days, you can usually find him behind the church.
Okay.
Do you need assistance?
That would be nice of you, Doctor. Who knows what I may have caught during my investigation.
J'ai plus de traitement.
I will see you later. Goodbye.
Bon, allez. Here we go. Ah bien sûr, on peut pas dash. Pour moi, dash, c'est ce que je faisais quand j'esquivais. Ces petits coups là. Voilà. Pour moi, c'est dash. Ou dash. Bon, bref. Ok, j'ai pas les couilles. Hop, par là.
I cannot enter.
Attends, trouver la boîte. Ah putain, ok, boîte aux lettres. Voyons voir.
The content of Darius' letter to his children could give me more leverage to enter.
Ils me disent d'aller là-bas. Attendez. Ah, là-bas. Attends, on va aller voir. Donc si j'enlève le micro, c'est soit pour téléphoner, soit pour manger un bout parce que j'ai pas mangé depuis ce matin. Et ça se ressent un petit peu. Enfin bref. Voilà, c'est les seules raisons pour que j'enlève mon micro, mais sinon j'enlèverai pas mon micro. De toute façon, je sais pas quoi dire parce que j'ai strictement rien à dire par bonjour, au revoir et c'est tout. Enfin, parler du jeu, j'ai déjà parlé à l'épisode précédent où je disais que le jeu... Ah non, j'ai pas parlé vraiment du jeu, juste parlé des vampires et tout ce qui va sur la suite, mais pas du jeu en soi. Pourquoi il m'attaque pas lui? Ah. Voilà, dasher c'est ça. Voilà, pour moi ça c'est dasher. Hein. Bon, alors.